I haven't done one of these in a while, and I kind of wanted to get it done really quick. So I'm doing it in the least professional way or the least like clean way that I can. Like I'm holding the phone in front of my face right now. Hilarious. I am a guy from a place, Charm City, Bibber, Keith the Vandal. Marquise is the name my mama gave me. Just a thought, right, about capacity. I'm bringing this up because I think about capacity a lot. And capacity in terms of like knowing myself and knowing what I have the capacity for. Like, knowing myself has been one of the most beautiful things in the process. And a friend of mine reminded me of that last night. They were talking on a really dope podcast that's coming. And it was just interesting to sit with like, I used to think my happiness was dependent on things that I really had no true concept of. But it was based on my inability to identify like what I actually like and want. So there was a point where like I thought I wanted a supercar, and I thought I wanted to live in certain types of cities, and I thought I wanted to have like really expensive clothes, and I thought I needed a certain type of salary to officially be safe because there were moments of financial insecurity coming up, like bills would get paid late, we would struggle with different things, and as an adult, like I pay bills late at times, and I struggle with certain things that I watched growing up, right? And it just made me sit with like this concept, right? I don't actually need $100,000 a year to live a fulfilling life. I found it out this year as I did the podcast that I'm blessed with, right? Blessed to be able to do. I don't need to live in Miami. I haven't been yet, but like, I kind of like other areas better. I went to Seattle, and Seattle like redefined that thought for me. And I don't know if it's Seattle, but like Seattle was dope. I went to Costa Rica this year, and like that redefined the thought of like I gotta live in a major city. I went to New York a lot in the past 3 years, and like as a kid coming up, I would see movies like Coming to America. I would see movies like Trading Places. I watched a lot of Eddie Murphy. I love New York hip hop. Like Jay-Z was one of my favorite rappers coming up, and still like goated albums. Biggie. Like I loved Biggie as a kid, like, and it is wild how I even came across Biggie. But like, my peoples had a CD collection in the basement that I just went through it, and I was like, just I'm getting busy and I'm listening to whatever, and just got like my own reason for liking his music. But I'm saying that to say like, I learned my capacity through doing things and not just looking at a picture and fantasizing. So I want to just give that to anybody. Go and experience some things to see if you really care that much about it. Like I used to joke with girls I was dating. I'd be like, if you didn't have to make money, what would you do? And I would hear this, like, I would just sit on a beach and drink all day thing. And I'm like, yo, that's cool for like 3 days if you taking 3-day vacations, but like 6 months of that, bet. Like if that's what the next 6 months are for you, but like, if I don't gotta make money, I'm gonna go do a podcast. I'm gonna go teach yoga classes. I'm gonna go do stretch therapy because I know a lot of people that are stressed and their joints hurt. And like, it is relieving for me. So I want somebody else to experience that because of the knowledge that I have. I wanna go create spaces that are safe for youth. Because as a kid, I loved to go to the library, but we got kicked out because we just were rambunctious. But if there was a space that was adjacent to the library that was safe for us to be rambunctious, I would have enjoyed that. I think it wasn't the behavior that was problematic, it was the limit of spaces. Because we took that rambunctious energy to people's crib when their parents weren't home. And we did what we wanted to do. So it's like this thing of, I'm blessed to just have more perspectives. I don't think I have all the answers, but I do recognize like, recognizing my capacity has been one of the things that really freaked me. I used to think, oh, Europe looks cool. And then like my dad took us in 5th grade and we just happened to be in Germany. And I also had a new family member because of other things. But like we're in Germany and having like the best time of our life. But like, I don't want to be there forever. So I actually love the place I'm from a lot more than I realized. I love Baltimore for a lot of reasons. Like we got sunset water views at the Inner Harbor. Like I got easy access to like foresty areas. We got hella parks. We got museums. We got good food. We got great people. If I want to go see an open mic, I can go pull up to an open mic. Like, there's nothing my city didn't have coming up. It was scary to get there sometimes. I had to get past the headlines on the news. I had to outdo the fear of hearing these sirens and possibly being on a block that like I'm not from and getting looked at crazy. But schedule your bus route a little better. Get a car, drive, right? Don't park your car on some side streets you've never been on. Like main streets only. Walk with a knife if you have to, all these little things. Head on the swivel, just basics. They seem basic, but like they don't be for some people. So, like I said, I'm really grateful, and I'm just sitting into that. Like, what is your capacity? And do you really need the things that you're telling yourself you need for you to have the experience that you consider joyful? For me to get a joyful experience, I just had to stop trying to make mixtapes. It's like, nah. I just had to be honest about what I really wanted and like why I wanted it, right? The why is important too. Because part of the reason I wanted to get rich was so that I could help my mom. But then I was like, yo, you don't help your mom as a broke dude. I don't know, as a broke girl. You don't help your mother as a broke boy. So like, why? And like the ways you help your mother as a broke boy are good enough because she can actually help herself. So like this savior complex, like this superhero thing I was emulating in my mind was actually a fear held on to since I was a child. Or like, I gotta help people because mama's crying, and then like life goes on and mom ain't crying all the time. Like, and other people in community are also a reason for her joy. Like, I don't have to be the only reason for her joy. I don't have to be the only reason for anybody's joy except my own. So yeah, I really just had this thought on my mind. I didn't want to go do all the extras like getting the tripod or getting the microphone set. I just wanted to speak for once in a while. Like, it's been a while since I really just sat and spoke about something that came to my mind right away. But truly, capacity, like I laugh because when I was teaching the kids, I'm like, what you want? I want to be strong. Oh, you got bullied. You got beat up. So you want to make sure nobody beats you up no more. It's cool. But like, don't let that be the only reason you want to get strong. Now, like if it's, I want to be strong so I can protect people so that I can carry more things or I can build things. Like, it's this fine line between like, is this based in fear? Is this based in anger? Is this based in retribution, like a secret desire for revenge? Or is this based in having this capability makes me joyful? I get extremely joyful doing pull-ups and pushing my body over the bar. Like a muscle up is insanity to me. Like, I'm like, I couldn't do this as a kid. Like, sometimes I joke with myself, like, imagine your younger self watching you be the guy that you are. Like, what if little Marquise that was around the way getting 25-cent bags of chips, playing around, running up and down the street, playing tag, getting called Ashley. What if that little boy was just watching me be a grown man right now, watching me do the things that I get to do? Like, I think we good. I think we happier. I think we're a little happier. And it's just giving those gifts to yourself before anybody else. And it's really that. It's that. Because when you are full and you're at capacity, your capacity is met, your capacity is understood. You know what you have to pour. You know what you got to hold on to. This go a lot better, yo. Like, everybody have more joy with you. Not just you. Like, you're not the only one who be joyful. People be joyful for you. Oh, I'm getting likes. I ain't put my joint on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, I say that to say, man, like, life is lovely. Life is abundant. The process is what it is, and it got to be trusted. I mean, I ain't gonna say has to be. You might not trust it today, but you could learn some trust in the process along the way. Yeah, I'm happy for a lot of reasons. I'm not sharing all of them just yet. But I will say, pray and pray again. I will say, make sure your faith is unwavering. If you believe something is possible for yourself, don't stop believing it. If you believe that you're meant to go back to school and that you're going to get a full ride as a 35-year-old. Believe it, trust it. And it may not come as those exact things. So I always tell friends, and I try to remind myself, don't speak about the specifics of your goal. Just say you're working on something sometimes. You're working on something, got an idea for something, and you real joyful about it. But don't give too many details away, because when you give specifics, it's somebody listening that really ain't hearing it, and they don't have that passion behind it that you do. And they might not even have to knock it. They just may be so neutral about it that it deadens it. So keeping those things tucked. I remember when I started the podcast, I tell this story a lot, but I recorded like 20 episodes at the top of January. January 6th or January 7th, I went to an event called Niggas Need Love. And Niggas Need Love was a joint where we spoke about like self-care and putting yourself first and pouring from your overflow. And I've done those different habits with the habits I already had, and it changed my life in a major way. And I owe that to community. I owe that to good friends like Margaret Stanback. I owe that to friends like Jasmine, who had the event in her space, Command Beauty. I owe it to a lot of people in community, the brothers that showed up, right? So as I sit with that reflection and that truth, I just realized like it all starts with self-belief. It all starts with the vision. And I held my vision. I had my 20 episodes, started releasing them like the 23rd of January. And I was dropping the episode every day on YouTube from like January 23rd to like March 6th or like early March. And that just made me like know that I could do it. Like giving yourself the win. I was working out. Like when I started my workout journey, I like to talk about it because like I started with my mama, started with my mother, and we would go to jog in the morning. My mother's an early riser, so we were going up to Lake Montebello, getting a lap or two, and this was like some days 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Some days we'd get to 7, but we were doing these early morning jogs. And it was just like a happy moment for me. Her feet started hurting and she started having issues that kind of like were holding her back. I also started getting colder. So she was missing mornings. I was going by myself. Then like it got to a point where it was so cold that I'm just not going out there. My mother's still talking, I'm going to go out, I'm going to dress warm. I'm like, I'm just not into that. So I wanted to go to the gym. I put it out. I was like, yo, I'm trying to go to the gym. Talking to one of my mans. He just started doing it at the gym. And he got this workout plan. So a good brother sent him, you got to work on your triceps and chest. You got to work on your back and your biceps. Do a leg day. You could do squats. You could do squats, or you could just do like, you could isolate your leg muscles. So you could practice joints that's intentional for your quads, intentional for your hamstrings. Think about your calves. And he really didn't mention no mobility like that. But I was like, I'm just trying to build my body. So chest, triceps, and shoulders. You know, it could be the back, the biceps. You might throw shoulders in with that. And it was a Monday through Friday split. I got in there with my guy. We had like a couple days that we committed to, and he fell off early. It wasn't his thing, and it was cool, but it was my thing. Like it was like that was my life after that. Like I was like, yo, it's kind of good. Like I'm an angry person, low key. Like I'm gonna lie to you, and I'm not gonna say I'm angry. I'm just so passionate that like the energy can be misidentified. So just having immense energy and having to be still can make me jittery. And if I'm lacking patience in a moment, I can be angry, or like if something riles me up that I don't really care for, I get angry. I get angry about the state of the black community at times, right? So like, I was just so joyful to be able to push weight. I was at like, first time I touched the barbell, like for bench press, I'm barely doing 12 reps with 95 pounds. Like I'm barely pushing 135 up. I'm struggling to get 135 up. By the time like I'm a year and a half in, dips like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing up to 225. You know what I'm saying? I was going up to 225, getting max reps. You know, I'm out here feeling like a guy, a big guy from a place. You know, and I was like, yo, this really ain't gotta be that at some point, because I recognized like it was a lot of vanity for me. I shifted my goal, but I just pivot. Like I mentioned that a lot. Pivot, bro. Like you ain't gotta be Mr. Muscle-tastic for the rest of your life. You could be, but you could also be Mr. Muscle-tastic that's a chef. You could also be a chef that's a yogi. You could be a yogi and a stress therapist. You could be a math teacher that end up teaching tech that year. Like you could be a language arts teacher that ends up doing debate club. Real life examples, right? Just give your space to pivot and give yourself space to pivot. And that oftentimes comes from giving it to others. If I ain't gonna bring celebrities into this, but just give more space and grace. Hold yourself accountable in the ways that you can. Yes, capacity. Knowing yourself. You learn yourself through trials and errors. And there is nothing to be scared of. I won't deny that fear is a valid feeling, but call it out. And know that faith is worth it. Like have the faith. Have the faith in yourself. Have faith in others. Have faith in a better life. Like you deserve that. But I'll end it here and I'll say, one day made better, as many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that's unfair. The joys we've been given are best when shared. Visionaries never die. Legends survive. They're the seeds we sow daily. We get better with time. I'm wishing you peace, prosperity, and many, many blessings. I am a guy from a place. Charm City, Bipper, Keys to Bando Marquise is the name my mama gave me. So, we're built in private, blessed in public. Whether they like it or love it, the process is trusted. Go get busy. Bippity. I am Bimby Sharmington.